Hello, treasures. It is another day. Another day of being a gamer dragon. I'm so excited that you decided to come here to my cave today. Hello, treasure. Your name is very appropriate for the stream, I think. I'm glad that you are here. Today I decided that I would continue playing Path of Exile from the other day, and I hope that you will enjoy the chill sounds of the music in the background and watch me suffer through an action RPG, which is probably one of my favorite pastimes. Action RPGs, not suffering. I feel like I should make that obvious. I am seeing some new faces in my cave today. I'm very happy to see you. It's nice to meet new people. Find out what they like, what they're into. Perhaps what they taste like. Moments before I started the stream today, there was a knock at the dungeon above my cave, and so I thought I would go see what's the matter. And there was a very, very shifty looking adventurer who was attempting to sell me water, which is very surprising, considering that we were standing next to the secret waterfall which my lair is behind. They were very nice and polite, but I couldn't help but think perhaps they could invest in some other form of business. One that made slightly more sense. No, I did not eat her. You see, I'd already had lunch just before this. So it didn't seem like the polite thing to do at the time. Plus, I don't know if you've eaten very many people, but it does tend to leave a mess. Somewhere around here should be the dungeon that I'm looking for, but I'm having some rotten luck finding it today. I find elves to be very delicious. Yes, they're very soft. There are many soft things you can do with elves. Perhaps that's not appropriate conversation for right now, though. I will have to check the Twitch rules.
I'm not up to that just yet. Finally, come on.
I think some of the sound design is very interesting in this game. It's got a good crunchy sound effect. I like a nice crunch. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I was looking at some of the skills for this game earlier today, and I think that I might, if this goes out well, I might try couple of other builds that I have plans for. Most of them are cold builds. Cold builds can take advantage of the freezing and shattering mechanic that I really enjoy.
Be well.
Poacher's Mark, Assassin's Mark. I think I just want hatred.
General Bravisius demands.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Bring me back something.
Okay, what is it good? I should probably start getting these life nodes. That will help me a lot.
Bye. Be careful.
Tread carefully.
Need something? Be careful.
Let's see, I can upgrade these shoes probably. Yeah, I think I can upgrade them again too. Do I want steel skin? Can probably use steel skin.
What is it?
Shoes are a very important item in this game. Shoes allow you to move quite quickly, which is arguably one of the most powerful parts of a video game is moving quickly. I don't think I have enough mana regeneration that I want to... Oh, that's too much mana reserved. Can I get him? Okay. That's quite a bit mana reserved, but I think I'll go with this. I think this is okay.
Come on now. Don't got all day.
This is percentage. 60% is cold. I don't do that much physical, so actually I will just level it up but not use it. That's probably a better idea. I am an elder dragon. I've been around for 9,003 years. I'm quite tall. I had to get a very specially designed gamer chair in order to be a gamer dragon. And I also recently got a specially made hitbox controller for playing fighting games with. It's about 3 times the size of a normal hitbox, and it's covered in this material known as Kevlar, so that I don't scratch the buttons too much. I'm very excited to get some pictures of it so I can show it to all of you. What else about me? I'm a dragon from another world, which I know sounds a little bit cliche, but it doesn't seem like you naturally have dragons here. You see, I was slain by a hero, and when I woke up I was in this new world. And you know how in isekai animes, when the protagonist goes to another world, they gain some strange powers that are part of that world. So that happened to me as well, and I gained the powers of a gamer. since I could already do magic and things like that. Surround shield. 87, 87. Yeah, this round shield might be a decent shield. I'll hold on to that for later. I know that the powers of a gamer don't sound very intimidating. But they're very entertaining. And that's probably good enough. I'm very fond of this music in the background. I hear it's lo-fi beats to study magic too, or something of that nature. This skill feels very similar to playing Blessed Hammer in Diablo 2, which I understand is a game that will be coming out again soon. I have not decided if I will be playing that game or not.
I'm not up to that just yet.
I think that maybe before I started streaming today, I should have asked Miss Manager for some tea. She makes this very wonderful, like home-brewed tea, and it has a great flavor. I think it's a black tea, and she adds this ingredient that just makes it pop, if you will. It's this special kind of poison, and I find the taste to just be very stimulating. Lemon ginger tea sounds very good. I will have to try that sometime. Yes, is that not that poison that you put in my tea, Miss Manager? I'll have you know that I am very familiar with poisons. Dragons have very sensitive tongues. I could detect poison by just smelling the glass. Miss Manager likes to do this game where she pretends that she's not trying to kill me, but I know better. I think it's quite charming. I think everyone should have a few friends that have trying to assassinate them. It makes for very lively time. I thought perhaps I could cross that gap, but it seems I was mistaken. I am almost level 28, so very soon I will be able to switch to the skill that I actually want to use, which I'll probably do after I get the quest item from this area. I seem to be picking all of the wrong directions today. Maybe I'm just extra sleepy. Actually, you know what? I saw that the quest NPC was over here. I should have kept going. Yeah. That's alright. What skills do I have? Onslaught, Spectral Helix, added gold. Should I get Chain? What would be another good thing to add to this? Cold Penetration, Hypothermia, Vicious Projectiles, Inspiration. Probably Inspiration. Probably if I put Inspiration here and Vicious Projectiles, that will probably be good. The skill system in this game is very interesting. I think it's quite fun how many combinations you can make of skills and different powers. Inspiration is a level 31. That's unfortunate. But I can survive. Shield throw. Shield charge. Fortify. Vicious projectiles. Oops. Vicious projectiles. Just level 18 support. I want faster attacks. That's everything I need? I think that's everything I need. Oh, I try my best to be an inspiration. Let's see, I want an item called the Princess, but I don't have it. That's probably okay for right now.
Be careful.
I could try to buy one from someone else, but
Don't do anything I would.
alright. I have to pick up those gems I just got. probably do not need Pierce anymore. Alright. This gives 184? I don't have enough strength to use this other item, so I'll have to sell this one and attempt to scour that one.
What is it?
So I'm going to be using Spectral Shield Throw. This is, as it sounds, a skill that allows you to throw your shield. So I want to use Shield Charge Faster Attack, so I need 1 green, 2 red. Excellent. Buying things from others in this game is a unique experience. Yes, it is. It's a kind of barter system that I definitely don't recommend experiencing if you can at all avoid that. So as I'm saying, I'm using Spectral Shield Throw, and I want to have a nice shield to go with it. So I want to use a combination armor evasion rating shield, which I have, and now I'm going to check and see if I have... does this count as armor or weapon? I legitimately don't know. I'm going to see if I have items that will help me create a very strong shield. All elemental resistance. That's not very good. I think it's better to just go ahead and attempt to alteration spam this. Alright, armor and evasion is a prefix. %39% is tier 7. Ugh. You know what? I'm just gonna have to go with that. I don't care anymore. Shield charge, faster attacks, spectral shield throw, onslaught. Don't need onslaught. Onslaught's nice, but I don't have to use it. Hatred, Arctic armor. So I don't need dash anymore. I can use precision. And I guess I don't need blood rage because I can't sustain it. So I put Herald of Ice. Don't really need dash anymore. I'm gonna hold on to it. So now I want shield charge. I want spectral shield throw. Always attack without moving. And that should be okay for now. That should be okay for now.
Watch yourself.
When I hit level 30, I could buy an item. This gives me dexterity. That really doesn't help me any. What I need is
What is it?
one of these.
Watch yourself.
Talamoana.
How you doing?
And one of these. Precision, steel skin.
Good luck to you.
Don't 100% know what I can roll on this that is going to be good. Let's just go ahead and hit it with an alchemy orb and whatever it is. Whatever we get, we get. Intelligence, global critical strike multiplier, accuracy rating. Well, that's not helpful, but that's okay.
What is it? Be careful.
Okay. I picked up a scepter instead of a weapon because the weapon doesn't do anything for me. Since I'm throwing my shield, nothing that the weapon does actually helps me. So Instead, I am using a scepter because it increases my elemental damage. And since I am attempting to convert all of the damage of shield throw to cold, I will get more damage from that.
Further from what I know and love.
The nice part is we do get to use shield charge, so we are quite fast. They did somewhat buff shield charge in this patch. They changed it so that the functionality of the Threshold Jewel, which edits the properties of this, is just baked into the normal skill now. So the chaining feature is just part of the skill, which before you'd have to get a special item and equip it and deal with all of that nonsense.
Hello again, noble.
I think I probably will buy a few things once I finish this quest. I will at least buy Rim Sorrow, probably, and maybe a Watcher's Eye. I was not expecting this skill to function so well at this low level, so this is nice for me. I was expecting it to be true suffering. Ah, here's Miss Manager with my poison tea. Thank you very much.
Black ones, four limbs, nasty, spiky things. Are you spiky?
You may go.
Alright.
Leave me, not a cockroach.
Let's see. Cast speed. Well, that's a terrible item, but I'm going to use it anyway. Alright, I do have a few items that I can deal with, so I'm going to live on stream make deals with other strange people who hopefully don't have disgusting things to say. Which is the downside, so I want 2 items that will help me get all of the cold damage that I need. So the first thing I need is Rim Sorrow. Where do I find corruptions? Not explicit. I need corrupted implicit. Maximum frenzy charges. Okay. 4 exalted orbs. Yeah, that's probably not something that's inside my budget. Let's scroll down. Find people who are asking more than 1 chaos orb. Alright, well, that person doesn't seem to want to respond. This is just like going down to a market and suffering. And now, I also could use a saber item called the Princess. But I'm considering using a Watcher's Eye, because I want to get one of those anyway. And I want Hatred. Physical damage converted to cold damage while affected by hatred. 13 Exalted Orbs. Okay, well, that is surprising. People seem to be hoarding the really good gear. Which, like, as a dragon, I know something about hoarding powerful magical weapons, but there comes a point where it's just a little bit ridiculous. You know what I mean? I'll probably have to go farm one of those items on my own. Oh, that was much less painless than I thought it was going to be.
Hello.
So... Alright, now I have... So this item gives me 50% of physical damage converted to cold damage. This item gives me 50% of... Right? Oh, this gives me percentage of physical damage as extra cold damage. I thought these used to convert. It must have changed what it does. Normally it used to convert your damage into cold damage, but that's okay. That's okay, I don't mind. Yes, I am wiggling to the music. I thought it was something you might like. The only downside of using shield charge is unfortunately displayed on this map, which is any small rock and things obstructs the movement of the skill. Alright, goodbye, Bitrate. It was nice knowing you. That was General Gravicius. He fights for God. He never says what god he actually fights for. There are very many gods in Path of Exile. It sounds rude to tell people that you fight for God, but don't specify what god you fight for. That would suggest there's only one god, right? And that seems rude to deny the legitimacy of other gods, I think. General Gravicius is not a nice person, but still, you know, still. I think I'm going to continue to go ahead and get more life. I'm not really concerned with how much damage I'm dealing right now. I think only I should be allowed to block. I don't think that monsters should be allowed to block. I think it is okay if I stop the skills they are using, but if they stop my skills, that seems very impolite. If we were in a duel, Treasures, I would not stop you from using your skills. I want you to know. I'm very sportsmanlike when playing death games with other people. I think I will go ahead and put Steel Skin on this button. It's for a little more defense. And I don't have enough levels to use Fortify, but soon I will use Fortify. That will be exciting. Fortify is a defensive buff that makes it so I just take 20% less damage from anything that strikes me. It's important to note that it does only affect things that hit. It does not affect things that deal damage in a way that doesn't involve hitting me. So damage over time, burning floors, that kind of things. Fortify does not protect against. I'm very happy that I decided to use Shield Charge. I think it's fun to just be shield charging around. It's very entertaining to me. You know, all of these mansions filled with so much blood reminds me of a few witch tea parties I've been to. If you ever get the chance to go to a witch's tea party, Treasures, I very much recommend doing so. And if they kill you, it's okay. Just set aside an extra 1,000 days, perhaps, to resurrect yourself in the event that you lose your life at the tea party. That's what I always do. It's kind of a pain having to schedule out 1,000 days, but... I purchased this item, and now I have found it on the ground. More fool am I. Let's see if this is a better one. 28%, 25%. No, this is not as good. That's okay. It figures, though, doesn't it?
I'm
Oh no. Ah. I've been having some issues with the Path of Exile server lately. It will lag and drop on me for some reason. I think the game is trying to be harder. I think it is ramping up the difficulty by making my connection have issues. Which is kind of a low trick, but I'm not a person who complains about that kind of thing as far as like when you're in a duel with someone and you know they're going to do some kind of horrible trick to betray you at the last second. That's just something that you have to be prepared for, I think. Perhaps what I should have done is purchase a t-shirt, but I can probably go get one of those soon anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I think I might actually go get the 6th link option.
Damn you!
It's a little bit annoying that when can I use this? Level 46. I will want 2 red, 4 green, right? Yes. You know what? This will be simpler if I just go to my hideout and fix this right away.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Oh, I thought I had 5 linked sockets. Okay. That's unfortunate. Come on, 5. There we go. And I want only 2 red. Excellent. Ideal. Let's go ahead and use that later. That will be nice. Okay, I killed Piety. So now I can move on and go fight the Emperor. And then in 16 levels, I'll go ahead and give myself that chest upgrade. Wow, this skill is really zooming, huh? I wish I had thought to use this more often. We're just going places.
Why do we insist on building mountains? Why not just go and climb them?
It's very cozy here. In my cave, I mean, not in whatever strange dungeon that we're in right now. The temperature is not too bad. I hope that it is cool enough for you wherever you are.
I'd put you out of your
It would be terrible if all of my treasures melt.
I'm not up to that just yet.
The skill is really schmoovin'. I am missing out on a little bit of experience because I'm not destroying monsters perhaps as fast as I could be, but I don't particularly mind. There'll be lots of chances to get experience in other areas, and if I really need to, I can do the league mechanic to get additional monsters to spawn. I think for me, getting further into the game is probably more important than attempting to level up in these areas. I'll be going to the Blood Aqueduct soon, so if I really, really, really want levels, that's a good place to get them. I perhaps should have fought one more enemy in order to get to level 30, but that's okay. Can't believe they're making me fight some kind of spinning top. Didn't realize Beyblades were a boss in this game. The music and what's going on in the game definitely doesn't match very well. That's alright, I suppose.
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile?
Yes, in fact, I have seen the true face of God. I've seen the true face of many gods. Again, this is the problem with being unspecific. A single target on this skill could probably stand to be a little bit stronger, I think. It'll be a lot better later. Won't be quite the slog that we're looking at now.
This world is an illusion, Exile.
Any gods I would recommend? I'm actually rather more fond of demons than gods. I think Beelzebub is pretty chill. I've been to her house occasionally. I'm excited for that Shin Megami Tensei game that's coming out in November. I hear there are a great many of very interesting demons in that game. I think that would be very much my kind of activity. I haven't had much experience summoning demons from personal computers. I prefer to do it the old-fashioned way, with candles and blood and that kind of thing.
My mana is gone. I'm not up to that just yet.
I feel like it's been several years since I started fighting this boss, but at least we're done with it now.
Mistakes. Some of us get
Alright, now I can put
cities are a blight upon nature.
that there. Alright, so I want to change this item. I'm going to need 2 red sockets and a green socket, or perhaps I will take this item off and go get a different one, which is what I'll probably do. I'll probably just go get a different item. I have a couple of other characters already on this league, so it'll be easy for me to go get some items that I want to continue using. I think perhaps if I'm going to be using this skill point blank like I have been, I should probably pick up the point blank keystone. This is technically supposed to be a ranged skill, but I am using it a little bit like a melee skill. Just hope that I'll have the mana to sustain it. I would like some mana on hit rings or other effects. I think that would give me a lot of leeway. One of the other skills I was considering is Shield Crush. which is a skill where it's kind of like this charging skill, except you don't move anywhere. Probably pick up this mana flask. Actually, that would probably help me a great deal.
I'm not up for that just yet.
I don't remember if I got all of the rewards from the previous area, so I'm gonna go back to that other town and make sure that I have.
This land is yours. You will be remembered.
Okay. Is it this character that has the item I want? I'm pretty sure. Excellent. Cold damage, elemental damage with attacks, inspiration, vicious projectiles, spectral shield throw, hypothermia. What level is hypothermia? Thank you. I do have very good character names. I've planned them out quite well. Alright, I want hypothermia, which is level 31. Excellent. That's nice. Alright. Don't need this item anymore. My defenses are okay. Get a better helmet.
Until
Take
Oh,
care.
does anyone sell better helmets? I think I want an armor helmet. Evasion rating's probably okay. Oh, these rings are terrible. I need new rings.
You will be remembered.
And just whatever is on it should be fine. Socketed minion gems. Oof. Oof. That's fine. I don't mind.
Yes. What do you want?
Okay. Do I need Spectral Helix? No. Don't need Dash. Can have Blood Rage socketed. Alright. Now I'm going to go do a very difficult and technically optional area.
Still standing there. Be well.
Good luck.
Be careful.
Tread carefully, exile.
Because I want to get the ascendancy for my character, and the ascendancy is how do I describe the ascendancy? So ascendancies are just like extra bonuses and power that you can get on your character, and that's what I want to go get a hold of right now because it will make me significantly stronger. Also, my character looks a little bit ridiculous, so I'm going to change that. Let's just go ahead and give her some gear that doesn't look quite so silly. Alright, that looks fine. Yeah, that looks ridiculous. Look at that terrible sword. Awful. Just disgusting.
I'm not up to that just yet.
It is a level 33 area, and I'm a level 31, so that can show you just how underleveled I am, but that's okay. I think I am quite strong. Oh. All of that effort I put into making this a stronger skill. And it still feels a little bit weak. I think I need to invest a little bit more into some damage. Retaliation here, I think will start to give me retaliation and gladiatorial combat will give me some much needed abilities. Gladiatorial combat will give me some critical strike chance. Which will help, I think. It'll help a lot. So I have to fight this very large man 3 times. That's the first time. He's not especially difficult, but he does have mechanics where various things can power him up if I don't pay attention to them. That's what those winged dogs were about. If I had let those hang around, it would have been much more difficult to deal with his attacks. At this stage of the game, he's quite weak. But I don't want to... I don't want to take more risk than I have to. Alright, this is the second fight with him already. You come to this place multiple times, and right now it's not a very long one. They get longer and harder as you go along. This particular enemy I'm very scared of. This ice guy. The thing that's the worst about him is he has an ability. Oh, that's unfortunate. He can give an aura. He can give an aura to Izaro where he will reflect some of the elemental damage that I do, which will very much get me killed. Reflect damage is very dangerous in this game because the damage you put out as a character is much, much higher than your HPs. Yeah, that section was not particularly difficult. Yeah, playing a summoner is a good way to get through Izaro's mechanics. If you just have a bunch of bodies between you and him, it becomes much less difficult. But not all of us play summoners, so... And of course, if you do enough damage to just one-shot Izaro, you don't really need to spend all of your time and effort clearing his mechanics. Just delete him right away. Don't even bother playing his games. Just destroy him. Just crush him and make him feel bad. This is not going to be fun for me. Is this a lever? This is a lever. 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 Look at that, a hidden labyrinth trove, and it gave me 1 chromatic orb. I love to be rewarded for my efforts with trivial baubles that I could find anywhere. I guess I shouldn't complain. I've gotten a considerable number of chaos orbs today, which is the base of the trading currency. So I have become a little bit richer today, treasures. Strength. I almost want to use this item. It's not very good, but I almost want to use it. Go ahead and get some extra life and then deal with that. Filling the screen with skeletons rather helps with a lot of sources of damage in this game. That's true. If you fill the screen with skeletons, it becomes very difficult for enemies to do things. And the skeletons will deal damage for you. It's a very win-win kind of thing.
I'm not up to that just
Alright, well that man is dead, so he can no longer buff Izaro with the aura I don't want to see. So now it is just a lot of going back and forth while I wait for my frankly pathetic damage to continue killing him. There we go. Oof. This is not very good treasure either. That's alright. I don't mind. I don't want Word of the Tempest. That won't help me. This is not very much armor, so as a shield this is not very useful to me. I want to be a reader. I thought about taking the defensive passives first, but I'm having trouble getting damage, so I'm going to take the Frenzy Charge Gain abilities first. So, Ascendancies are essentially subclasses, even though they're really the real classes. You have 3 options from each character. Raider is very fast, and she does a lot of damage. So that's why I decided to pick her. And she works very well with a mix of physical damage and elemental damage. So since I'm converting all of my physical damage into elemental damage, she's just an obvious choice for this skill.
a million creatures lost, just so San could keep its privilege flowing.
Another advantage to having a bunch of frenzy charges is frenzy charges also increase your movement speed and attack speed. And movement speed and attack speed double dips with shield charge, so I'm actually going significantly faster than if I just had a boost to movement speed or if I just had a boost to attack speed. The way shield charge works is its travel time is based on a combination of your base movement speed and your base attack speed. So if you have things that increase attack speed along with things that increase movement speed, you can go quite fast. That's why I'm using faster attacks in the link with the skills so that it moves faster. And then of course I have Fortify as the defensive buff that I can gain from it. Oh. That skill actually goes quite far. This is probably the third or fourth emperor in this game? There's so many emperors.
My mana is gone. This land won't miss your kind, Vol.
So I could just teleport back to town, but I want to get a little bit more experience before I get there. Since I'm a little bit down on it. So far I'm having a decent amount of fun with this skill. The movement speed aspect of it is very nice. Any skill where you can use shield charge, I think feels very good as far as getting around is concerned. There is also Leap Slam, which I think is an okay movement skill. Lightning Warp was a decent skill, but it's with the changes to cast speed from what they used to be, it's very clunky attempting to use Lightning Warp these days.
That's no natural earthquake. I'm not up to that just yet.
Flame Dash used to be a better movement skill, but because it was such a good movement skill, everyone used it, and so they patched it to be almost worthless, which is unfortunate, but this tea is very good.
Feels like something stirring in the sleep.
How are you enjoying the game, treasures? Are you all having a good time?
Hello again, local.
My mana is gone.
If you enjoy the process
Another.
of like working through complicated math in determining how much damage you deal in role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and such, then you would probably enjoy this game. Much of the strategy in the game exists outside the game, as evidenced by the insanely large skill tree. But if, like, crunching numbers to try and figure out how to get 5% more damage is a thing that appeals to you, this is definitely a very good game for that. For me, I find that my brain becomes quite smooth if I think about this game for too long. So mostly what I enjoy doing with it is just watching the explosions from ice skills. I like it when enemies are shattered into thousands of pieces. That entertains me. So if you know of other games where you can shatter your enemies into thousands of pieces, I would be quite interested in hearing about it, Treasures. Don't remember if I've fought this unique boss or not. Oh, this skill is a little bit clunky on targets that move around a lot. That's unfortunate. That will be something to think about later. Alright, I think I'll go ahead and start getting these nodes for some more damage.
This isn't the Karui that I know.
I do prefer to get life as much as possible, but I don't like going slow, so picking up some more damage to make this process a little speedier is probably good. Like, my moving around is pretty decent right now, but boss damage is... could be better, could be better. Right now I'm getting a 28% chill, which is nice. 28% chill means all actions the monsters take is 28% slower. So that includes attacking, casting, moving. I'd like to do more. And chance to freeze would be nice, but I don't really have as much sources of that yet. These golem enemies have a lot of life, so they're good to check my damage on, and right now it's just kinda eh. It's just kinda eh. There's a boss over there, that's what's shooting so much fire at me, but it doesn't give you very much experience. It's gonna take a long time to kill, so I'm just gonna ignore it for now. I don't need to kill it in order to clear the game, so I have no desire to. I just want to get through it as basically the story mode, so that I can get to the content that I really want to do, which is the mapping process at the end of the game. There's a great number of things here. This is a little bit scary. That wasn't so bad, actually.
Local, need your aid.
So I don't think I'm going to be able to do as much damage. Actually, I'm doing quite a bit more damage to this creature than I thought I would be, so I'm going to go ahead and kill this red one. Oh, I should have known better about goats. They really made the goats very strong after the most recent patch, which seems
I'm not up for that just yet.
like a choice that they made. I don't particularly agree with it, but I think this game was already difficult enough. There's a couple of balance changes in the most recent patch to make it considerably more difficult. Without giving a whole lot more new tools to players. So that's the one caveat. If you wanted to start playing this game, do want you to know that the beginning of it is very, very rough. It is a very, very difficult game. This is a very screamy man. What is he so angry about? Alright, that's one down. Okay, I can go get a set of skill points from this guy.
Fate will be remembered.
So soon I'll be able to get retaliation. So I'll be able to get 20% more damage, which is nice. I also should be purchasing and attempting to upgrade shields as I find them, but I haven't really been doing that too much. There aren't a lot of very good shield options available to me in the early game. A lot of people, if they play this skill, they don't actually level with this skill. They level with something else and then switch to this skill when they get to the end game and can make a good shield. I like to live dangerously. As I said, I've died a few times before. But I think there's more fun to be had when you have a lot of risk. So I don't mind suffering through the earlier stages of the game.
I'm not up to that just yet.
I wish I could turn off global achievements. I don't really want to know about Reddit when I'm playing video games. I don't think anyone should have to hear about Reddit when playing video games. Alright, that was fast. This is one of the few skills that benefits very heavily from gaining levels. Most physical skills don't get very much damage out of being leveled up. Well, most attack skills, I should say. But this has flat added damage on the gem, which means as I level it up, I will gain more base damage for free. Which helps mitigate our weapon concerns a little bit during the story mode. Alright. So there's another mini-boss in here, so this is a good place to check how much damage I'm doing. And I'm doing a considerable amount of damage now, so that's nice. Oh, I already cleared the event. I thought that was going to take me longer. Just gonna enjoy some tea. Ha! I think that I might be able to beat this act before I run out of time today. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Ooh, Sacred Life Flask. Is it decent? It is decent. This is definitely better than the earlier part of the game where I wasn't getting any life flasks at all. Duresso is one of the more annoying bosses in the game. He has several phases where he just chills out and heals. There's nothing you can do about it. Even if you were to do a ton of damage to him at once, he will always do his little kneel down animation. He also must finish whatever animation he's in before he starts doing it. So if he started an attack, Even if it's especially long attack, he must finish doing all of it before he will kneel down. So he's just slow for no reason. I don't like him very much. I also think, as a character, he's kind of a terrible person. He got involved with a woman and then let her be corrupted into an evil witch, and then kind of just abandoned her in a cave on the beach. So, not exactly husband of the year material. If I had a princess for a wife, which I have had before, I would just simply spend time with her, like Rip to Duresso, but I'm different. Excellent. I'm getting some... So 50% increased defenses from equipped shield is nice. That technically means that the 276 armor that I am getting from this shield counts as 411 armor? Which the skill I'm using gains damage based on the armor and evasion of the shield that I'm using, so I get a significant damage increase out of that node, as well as a defensive increase. That's what's fun about this skill. Investing in your shield gives you defenses, but also gives you damage. There are a few archetypes in this game where investing in the source of your damage also increases your defenses. Archmage builds that stack mana. You use your mana for both your defenses and your offense, so that's one way to do it. There are armor stacking builds. I haven't played any of those. But you can stack armor and use that to increase your damage. I said there was a great deal number of builds that work that way, but now that I think about it, there's mostly just those two: Archmage, armor stacking, and shield skills. Well, actually, there's a couple of skills that do more damage based on the maximum HP you have. So technically there are some life stacking builds. Technically.
You see what happens when you hunt dreams, Ranger.
Perhaps what I should have done is gotten a skill called Frost Orb. Frost Orb decreases enemy cold resistance, which would be very helpful me in situations like this. Very least on bosses, it would make them go a little bit faster. don't want to stand in that beam, but I can't help it sometimes. A lot of bosses in this game are kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom characters. They just try to fill the screen with as many damaging things as they can and hope that you'll run into them. So I have to get through this map. I have to fight a couple of mini-bosses. And then I will be able to fight the last boss of this area, so I think I will be able to get to the next act before I run out of streaming time for today. I always forget that Chevron takes forever to start talking. Alright, that's one boss.
We destroy so much beauty in our pursuit of prettiness.
I have no idea what the phrase "we destroy so much beauty in the pursuit of prettiness" means. You have to remember that this game was largely written by men who don't have a very large perspective or lens to which to view things from, so the dialogue doesn't make any sense. That's probably why. Ooh, an amethyst ring. Actually, this amethyst ring is very nice to get here. Because I will be fighting a chaos boss soon. Small lens shaming. You're very clever. So the gimmick of this particular boss is she spawns these curse areas, and the curses affect you negatively, obviously. Am I even hitting Doja? There we go. I think I might have to go back to refuel my flasks. So one of these, the red, makes me vulnerable. The red makes me vulnerable to bleeding, so I don't want to stand in it if I can help it. And then the purple slows me, which is kind of annoying. And the green one makes me deal less damage, so I definitely don't want to stand in the red. And no matter what I do, it's inconvenient to stand in the green and purple curses. So this is Malagaro. This is why I was happy that I got the Chaos Resistance ring, the Amethyst ring, because Malagaro does almost entirely Chaos damage. He does a little bit of physical damage. And as you can see, that's why his moves hurt me much, much more than any of the other bosses. I struggled with Malagaro on another character I played earlier this week. It's very difficult to get chaos mitigation and sources of life gain early in the game here. So depending on what character you're playing, it's just a very difficult fight. But not necessarily because of anything Malagaro actually does, it's just the damage type he deals. If he was dealing fire damage or cold damage or anything of that sort, he would be a much easier boss.
Your kind leave nothing but scars, Malagaro.
Alright, this gives 77 armor, so it's not even worth using for me, which is unfortunate. Now we give all these organs to Piety, and Piety will let us go fight Malachi. Alright. The Piety mini fight during this is a little bit annoying. All it does is essentially just add phases to the fight without actually changing how the fight works. And makes things take longer for no real reason, because you do have to fight Piety. But again, she's not substantially different from how she was, so it's mostly like you can still be attacked by these ground effects while you're waiting for them to act out their little play. And then we have to go stand next to Piety so that it'll let us into the actual boss fight. So now I just fight Malachi. It's not terribly difficult. Every time I get him to half-life, he goes over to one of these hearts and heals himself to full, and then I must destroy the heart and knock his life back down to half again. It's not terrible as far as boss fights are concerned, but like, it's not the most interesting one. He has this move where he'll disappear and then he'll reappear and attempt to do a high damage explosive attack against you. So it's pretty easy to see coming. And so then my goal is to just not stand in that as much as possible. And now we're fighting red on red on red on red. All of these are dangerous, scary ground effects which will do damage to me, and depending on your ability to see the color red, this may be an easy or difficult fight for you. Excellent. Kite shield is probably going to be terrible. So now his loot's already dropped, but I'm waiting for him to open a portal back to the starter area. It takes him forever to play this, I don't know, gruesome death animation that's kind of comical. I don't particularly mind it, but I don't think it's very interesting. Fire damage to attacks, life, cold resistance, reduced effective chill on you. I don't think I want any of these. I think I'm just going to go ahead and sell them.
I'm watching you.
7 of 35. 8 of 38. 7 of 35.
Yes.
Overly dramatic. I mean, I guess if you're like bent on crushing the world or whatever and bending it to your will, I guess I can understand a certain amount of like drama, but I feel like the drama only matters when you're still alive. I feel like dying is perhaps not where you want to spend that drama. Alright, Diala. Multi-strike. I think I want multi-strike. Not for this character, for another character. I want summon Ice Golem. Ice Golem is going to give me increased accuracy and critical strike chance. Plus I'm going to have a cute little... Oh no, I went back into Highgate. Okay. The Ice Golem is going to give me accuracy and critical strike chance, but also will just be a dude that hangs out with me, which is something that enemies will attack instead of me, so that's nice. It is kind of obnoxious because I will want my golem to be around, and so during boss fights it tends to take too much damage and die, so you tend to have to resummon it a lot. So I don't rely on it a lot, but when I do have it, it is helpful. Hallowed Life Flask. Excellent. The final tier of Life Flasks I want to get is the Divine Life Flasks, and I want a Divine Mana Flask. So those will show up eventually. There are not very many tiers of flasks. Alright, here's the gateway to the start of the next act, so I'm going to go ahead and just get through this area, because that will take me into the new town area, and that will probably be it for the stream today after I get there. Which hopefully shouldn't take me too much time. Alright, here's the last micro boss.
I'm not up to that yet.
He's like some kind of crow? Very Dark Souls. Mm. Okay, treasures. I think that's probably enough of playing some video games today. I hope that you had a good time. I hope that you enjoyed seeing Path of Exile. I hope that it was fun for you. Before we go, do any of you have any questions, comments, things you want to tell me? We can enjoy a little bit of chatting. I'm very happy that there were so many of you here today. Some new faces. You're all quite chatty today. I like to have conversations with you, treasures. It brings me a certain amount of joy. I'm quite tired. I think perhaps after I end the stream, I will go lay down on my pile of gold. As you know, gold is very soft and will be very, very comfortable, and I think I will take a nap. Hopefully only one day this time and not 10 years like the last nap that I had. That's the problem with being a creature that lives for a long amount of time, is sometimes you just get so cozy and you just don't wake up for a while. Tragic, I know. You have a game you want to recommend, but you've forgotten what it is, and you will send me a DM later. Alright, that's acceptable. I will allow this, treasures. We are just vibing to the music, treasures. Well, it was nice that all of you came out. I'm glad that you had a fun time. This weekend I will not be streaming this weekend. But if you come back on Monday, I will be here and waiting for you, and we can all have a good time together. So, please have a good rest of your day, treasures, and I will see you next week.